Hampshire primary Democrats. Go.
I think it was 1 minute after the polls closed that Hillary conceded. And she gave a brief, speech saying, we're on to Nevada. And reality is she can't get out of New Hampshire fast enough.
Well, did you notice in her speech, subtly, she was dressed like a preacher woman? Look at her clothes. She was like a preacher woman, and she was preaching. She was preaching how she's going to take on the big banks and take on the establishment and support poor working families and minorities and preaching.
Well, that's why the word most commonly associated with Secretary Clinton is liar.
But once again, even though Bernie, let's face it, it was an overwhelming victory, over 21 points. Mm-hmm. It's still being spun. Look at the headlines. Trump trounces in New Hampshire. Bernie Sanders wins. Pundits are still saying this doesn't mean anything. Clinton came away with more delegates still because she has a super delegate. So she still won more delegates in New Hampshire because she, being the non-established candidate that she is, she still has all the establishment super delegates. And so pundits are all just brushing it off as, all white next to his state, whatever. He's, Clinton's just going to march right, going to dominate the next two states, and then it's pretty much over. Not to throw water on it, but everybody's throwing water on it.
Well, yes and no. I happened to see Howard Kurtz, I think his name is, he's a media analyst with Fox News. And he actually put a completely different spin on it. He said that he believes...
No, but this is Fox News. Of course, Fox News is always going to pour water. I'm talking about the...
I saw the CNN. I thought it was absolutely ludicrous. Right. I was sitting there like, why the hell am I watching this? This is a Clinton commercial. It's all it is.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, my point is, yeah, Fox, and they're going to throw water on it. But CNN, CSNBC, Washington Post, New York Times, Wall Street Journal is still going to spin everything for Clinton. And they are. They are.
They are.
And Bernie called them out in his acceptance speech. He said, and the media, and everyone just you could feel this woo, like he was calling them out. And of course, they said, all right, you old communist, for calling us out, take this.
Well, one of the, because of course Fox covered both the Democrat side and the Republican side in New Hampshire, one of the people on the exit that they talked to who had voted for Bernie said, if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, I'm voting for Trump. And these people were like, really? and the woman said, I cannot vote for Hillary. There's no way I can vote for Hillary.
Well, and the only demographic she won in was people over 65 and people who make over $200,000 a year. Everyone else went to Sanders.
Yeah, well, wonder why that was. Yeah, Bernie, I think Nevada's going to be important for him because if he can get some traction there, and we don't know how he's going to do with black voters yet. I don't see why his message doesn't work for them myself.
Well, he's getting more and more legitimate supporters in that community, like the NAACP. Sessions, or what's the guy's name? Really smart guy is now like working hard for Bernie in South Carolina.
Yeah, and I think the advantage he has in Nevada is there's not a big black population in Nevada, so that's going to. But it's just the message, that people want to get a message, and there will be Latinos in Nevada, so I think it'll be Hillary's. Boy, being in those rooms with her today is going to be a nightmare because she's going to be swearing like a sailor.
So what's our summary of New Hampshire on the Democratic side, if you were going to sum it up?
Um, well, I mean, Bernie just stomped her. Bernie stomped her. He got his message out. The young people are just not there for Hillary. They don't. They don't. They're totally thinking she's in another universe. What is she talking about? She understands what I'm doing. Where Bernie does understand. They're all dead. All, you know.
So I guess it's pretty clear that Hillary's real firewall is the mainstream media on her side just continuing to lie for her. That's her firewall.
Yeah.